This is just a quick disclaimer, guys. This isn't my voice, and I used AI. I just thought I'd test it out, and well, I hope you enjoy.
Do you want to be an upstanding powerhouse of the Imperium? One who cares for those lesser than him? Do you like flamethrowers and dragons? Or believe in the strength of a glorious brotherhood? Well, have I got the chapter for you. The Salamanders. The boys clad in green armor, their skins scorched from their home planet of Nocturne. Their Primarch Vulcan is a tower of a man. His strength and endurance is unmatched. Even his brothers failed to match his strength. Their war cry, "Into the fires of battle, unto the anvil of war," has such strength behind it, the enemies cower in fear of what's to come. However, Salamanders are kind to those who are unfortunate to get themselves mixed in with chaos. If those who do not support these heretical gods, the Salamanders protect them in hopes of redemption. But this is very rare cases. The Salamanders tend to avoid hurting those they deem innocent, and unleashing their full might and ferocity against their enemies. Salamanders are unique compared to the other chapters, in a sense of they still interact and talk to their mortal families. This is strange compared to the other chapters as they become disconnected to the rest of the Imperium. The Promethean cult governs the beliefs of the Salamanders, placing great emphasis on self-reliance, loyalty, and self-sacrifice. These values stem from their training as smiths. Prometheans believe deeply in the virtues of self-reliance and self-sacrifice for others, long defining cultural values of the Nocturnian people who have struggled to survive the harsh environment of their volcanic and earthquake-cracked homeworld. They hold a firm belief in isolationism, the tenet that only through spiritual meditation and exploration performed alone and in isolation from others can a person gain a true understanding of both themselves and how they can best honor the legacy of Vulcan and serve the will of the Emperor. Prometheans make use of fire in many of their rituals and ceremonies and believe that they must be cleansed by the pain of fire before every major undertaking or initiative. The hammer, sometimes called Vulcan's sigil, the forge, and the anvil are also important symbols for Prometheans, due to the importance of smithing in Nocturnian culture. Promethean believers also hold sacred the words of the ancient ritual book known as the Canticle of Immolation, which is often read by Salamander's chaplains during the chapter's various ceremonies. It is not uncommon for Salamander's space marines to engage in ritual scarring by branding and burning. Frequently held trials of walking over burning coals and carrying red-hot metal bars are a common occurrence. As the Promethean cult openly calls on its adherents to venerate the Primarchs and follow the Emperor loyally, it is not considered heretical by the Clasarchy and instead has received official sanction as one of the accepted variants of the Imperium's state religion, the Imperial Creed. Brander priests are a valued group of chapter serfs who administer the ritual brands to the flesh of the Salamander's Astartes. Achievements and honors are recorded in brands upon the flesh of each Astartes, and the brands wind around the limbs and body of the Space Marine. Once healed, each of these scars represents a living history of the Salamander's many conflicts. Each was a battle won, a foe vanquished. No Salamander went into battle without first being marked to honor it, and then again at battle's end to commemorate it. Over the centuries of service to the chapter, these honor marks would come to wreathe the battle brothers' legs, arms, torso, and back. They were intricate and became more detailed as each new honor scar was added. Only the most senior veterans of the chapter, a Salamander with standard centuries of service, ever bore such markings on their faces, as their entire bodies were covered in honor marks. Chapter Master Tushin is said to possess so many of these honor marks that he has run out of room on his flesh, and instead has to have fresh honors marked directly onto his battle plate. Brander priests are assigned upon Astarte's induction into the chapter, and will ideally serve with that particular space marine for their entire lives. Pilots are the only warriors in the chapter who may ritually scar their faces before the rest of their bodies, for pilots will traditionally brand the dactyl's sigil on their faces. The symbol of the dactyl, an avian predator native to Nocturne, Captain Dactyl of the 4th Company, bears a particularly large and detailed sigil as befits his rank as the chapter's master of the fleet. The reptilian salamanders, after which the chapter are named, can live very long lives indeed. The oldest and most legendary drakes are revered in the chapter's legends, such as the mighty Kessa, whose hide is worn by the Forgefather Vulcan Histan and Kesagoth, guardian of the Gate of Fire, a mythical drake of Nocturne, whose spirit appeared recently in the totem walk of Lexicanium, Dacia. Those drakes hunted by the Astartes of the chapter are named and remembered as well. Those salamanders, battle brothers facing a crisis of belief or purpose, will sometimes choose to undertake a ritual known as the Burning Walk. The battle brother departs the chapter dressed only in the robes of a Nocturnian desert traveler and armed only with a walking staff, to travel the dunes and deserts of Nocturne until their crisis is resolved and they return. Few Astartes who undertake the Burning Walk return, however, and the ritual is more often than not a death sentence.